I would define Calabria as a beautiful but cursed region, with so many extraordinary resources, yet at the same time subjugated to the suffocating authority of the Mafia.
The Ndrangheta, the Calabrian Mafia, is omnipresent here in Calabria, in the south of Italy, reigning over the mountain villages. From here, they organise the biggest cocaine trafficking ring in Europe. Maria Rosaria Russo was born here. Headmistress of a secondary school, she sees the close links between the Mafia and the local youth on a daily basis.
When you're born into certain families round here, you're automatically propelled into the Mafia life.
Because, in Calabria, the Mafia benefits from an easily accessible labour force, adolescents they can use for their dirty work. Extortion, transporting drugs, assassinations. From an early age, some even become hitmen. Maria Rosaria has decided to say no to organised crime in her school and to lead the fight from within.
Buongiorno.
Good morning. Good morning. Is everything okay?
Tutto bene?
Yes, we're studying a poem by Vincenzo Conti. It'll help us learn how to analyse literary texts.
Perfect.
We're in the high school in PIRIA, in ROSARNO, one of the Ndrangheta strongholds. Among the 500 students, the sons and grandsons of the major Mafia families of the south of Calabria. When Maria Rosaria arrived at the school 8 years ago, she immediately decided to make it a Mafia-free zone.
When I arrived at the school, the walls were falling to bits, and there was trash everywhere, mouldy sandwiches, Coke cans. So the first thing I decided to do was to start repainting everything myself in the first week.
But it wasn't long before the reprisals came.
A letter bomb. We found it here, look. As I approached it, the bomb disposal expert said, "Don't do that." But I said, "No, the kids must understand." I closed all the school doors and said to them, "Tomorrow you'll catch up the lost time. That'll be 4 hours of detention." Since then, I haven't had any further intimidation.
To distance the kids from the Mafia's influence, Maria Rosaria offers unconventional classes to the students.
Good morning. Today we're discussing the culture of lawfulness.
The objective is to get the students to question the unusual system that operates here using specific examples. A few days ago, a village guard informed the authorities about an assassination organised by the Mafia, who promptly put a price on his head.
Don't you think it's odd that someone who gave information on a crime should be obliged to leave his village, to run away and hide forever because of threats to his life?
No, it's unfair.
It should be the other way round. Children from Mafia families come to these classes. They have to accept their origins and be able to say, "My name is that, I come from that family, but I'm different to my family and my destiny is not my family."
Young Carmelo Cacciola is the son of a white-collar worker in the Mafia. Beyond these walls, his name arouses a sense of fear. At 17, Carmelo decided to break away from the criminal heritage of his family. He wants to make his own way.
I want to study medicine. I'm studying really hard for my exams. It's not going to be easy, but I'll persevere and push myself to succeed.
In a few days, Carmelo will pass his scientific high school exams in the hope of one day becoming a doctor. A victory for Maria Rosaria.
I want to congratulate Carmelo. Bravo, you're a wonderful example.
Today, the authorities have disclosed the results of one of the most important investigations of recent years into the Calabrian Mafia. An international network in 19 countries has been dismantled, with 34 people arrested and 4,000 tons of cocaine seized.
In order to purchase the cocaine at a low price, at around 1,100 or 1,200 euros per kilo, the Ndrangheta families have made alliances amongst themselves, allowing them to purchase large amounts of 5,000 to 8,000 kilos.
Prosecutor Nicola Gratteri heads the Italian side of the inquiry. He's been pursuing the Ndrangheta for over 20 years. For him, there is only one reason for the power and longevity of this mafia, and that is family.
The Ndranghetists are related to each other. 2 of 3 patriarchal families head up a local organization made up of 500 to 1,000 people. This loyalty is difficult, and this is one of the guarantees for the South American cartels. Family makes the Ndrangheta almost impenetrable, like a granite block.
In the juvenile court in Reggio de Calabria, the judge, Roberto de Bella, has sentenced dozens of minors from the Ndrangheta found guilty of manslaughter.
Today in 2015, I find myself sentencing sons or younger brothers of those that I sentenced in the 1990s. And this bitterly confirms that one is born into the Ndrangheta. Families ensure the transfer of power over each territory through a generational continuity.
Armed with this knowledge, his court put in place a pioneering programme last year. The aim is to distance and re-educate the minors in danger of being recruited by the mafia. 20 of them are here today.
Hey mate, what's up? Everything okay?
Some of them are only 16, and yet they are all on the police files for crimes such as the sale or distribution of drugs, extortion or armed robbery. A perfect profile for becoming Ndrangheta soldiers.
Come on, let's get in the car.
More than 1,400 indicted minors have been entrusted to the Calabrian social services. Using a car previously seized from an ex-boss, they are going off for an afternoon of re-education. Gianluca still has 2 years of probation.
It is difficult to stand up to the mafia, because they're everywhere, but yet invisible at the same time, impossible to beat. You can't fight against that kind of power.
A few kilometres further south, we arrive at a villa confiscated from a local drug baron that has been transformed into a museum about the Ndrangheta.
The kitchen was over there, and here I believe there was a piece of furniture covering the entrance.
2 meters below ground, the kids discover exactly what life is like for a majority of the bosses. Sought by the authorities, they end up hiding out in these dugouts for years on end. A few belongings, enough to survive in little more than 10 square meters. On the wall, a message: God, protect me in this bunker. The objective is to demystify the mafia ideal of luxury living.
It's very contradictory. He condemned 10 people to death, but yet at the same time he prayed for protection from the Virgin Mary.
Upstairs, they meet a first-hand witness. Francesco Rigitano knew the mafia well. As an adolescent in the 90s, he was recruited by the Ndrangheta. Today, he gives talks so that these young delinquents will not follow the same path.
My
friends from that time that joined the mafia are today either in prison or dead. There's no other way out.
In the garden of the house, Gianluca seems to have understood the message.
Joining the mafia means condemning yourself to a horrible destiny. It's up to us to have the strength to distance ourselves, to say no when approached by the mafia.
At 21, Francesco was sentenced to 2 years in prison for collusion with the Mafia, an experience that opened his eyes. Today, he runs a support centre for youth in difficulty. Here in Gioiosa, in the southeast of Calabria, nearly 300 kids come 5 days a week in order to do sports and do their homework. The aim is to save them from the criminal context that surrounds them.
We'd like them to realise that they can choose their future and that through sport they will grow whilst developing healthy attitudes.
Saving the new generation and encouraging the kids to greatness is a long drawn-out process for Francesco.
A screwdriver?
No, we're looking for a compound word.
Corkscrew.
The battle to win over the children's minds has begun. Back in ROSARNO, Maria Rosario and her students are marching.
Come on, kids, hold it up. You're the ones leading the protest.
A few years ago, no one would have imagined this scene in this village, particularly well known for its Mafia-linked activities.
We have to change their mindset and their culture. We have to get rid of the idea of easy money without effort.
90% of those marching are young, a sign that the winds are changing.
It's a start. It's a sign of change.
Even the kids from Mafia families are beginning to join these marches. It shows everyone that one can be free from the Mafia.
We are the owners of the land, not them. This is an eviction notice.
Without these young people, the Ndrangheta has no new soldiers, no future. Maria Rosario is absolutely convinced, but her battle is far from won.